the one and only C.L.A.N, no strangers. They've stopped by our studio. They've given us opportunities to have world premieres. And now we are fortunate and blessed to call them our first interview of 2023, guys. You are our first official interview of the new year. So that's pretty exciting. So welcome back. You guys are no strangers, and it's good to see you guys.
Thank you for having us. Sutat. That's good morning in my language.
Thank you. Remind everyone who you both are and give them a peek at why we have you here today.
I'm YNG Native. I go by You Never Guessed a Native. I'm C.L.A.N Hyder from Southeast Alaska, and we're here to talk about what we have coming up and what we have been doing lately since our last interview.
I'm Grizzly Brown, representing Yakutat, Alaska. I'm Tlingit, and currently we are C.L.A.N based out of Seattle, changing life around the nations.
Yeah, changing life around the nations. That's what C.L.A.N stands for, everyone. So tell us, again, remind us about your mission of C.L.A.N.
What our mission is to go around each city, each state, each village, each res, and every other nation that people have to spread our message about Indigenous culture and our message and our perspective of life. And what we want to do is to bring it into even though our way of Native living is very traditional, very old, very sacred, we want to be contemporary. We want to blend in, give a voice saying, we're here, not for just the older generation, but for the newer generation and the generation present as well.
Yeah, I second that.
Just to kind of get, just to kind of pick up on that topic, if you can kind of give us some examples of how you guys support and empower local Native communities, not only here, in our, immediate, state, but like you mentioned too, on other national opportunities that you guys have had to visit.
So a form of giving back that we have just been able to have at our outlet has been being able to go back to our own homes and give them the quality of a good performance and something that people pay up to thousands of dollars to go have a vacation to see the quality that we're giving them. We've made an appearance to his hometown of Metlakatla, a ferry ride over of Ketchikan up to Yakutat, my hometown, giving them the best quality that we would give a show down here and giving them 1,000%, and being able to give back to our communities and what we know how to do and having them support us as much as we support them. So it was nice to go back and give them the quality of good music without having to bust the budget.
And give opportunity, as in where we're from, we don't have huge restaurants. We don't have grocery stores. We don't have so what we have in the city. We got in the chance, people that are cooks to give their food out, people that are artists, traditional artists to sell their artwork. We had games for kids. We had a chance to go to even the older ages at the bars that we had in the villages. Where I'm from, Metlakatla and their res, we don't have no bars. But you go over to a bigger village like Ketchikan or Yakutat, they'll have bars, but it's not fancy. It's very old school. It's a very old-like, and the fact that we could bring the quality, like you saying, the sound there, to have a real good show where some natives that never even left the hometown and that are really seeing it, like, oh, I've seen this on my TV once in a while, I've seen this on my phone, to be present, to be like, wow, okay, I got that, to going us to Southwest, going the whole West Coast to different Native villages like California and Oregon and New Mexico to Hawaii, and being able to show them and give a message to what's very common of all those things is not just our message, but influence kids, influence Indigenous people. Like, I can do this. I have a chance to do this. In my village, we had this girl that stuck out to me. She was just, it was all ages, you know what I mean? She was a young lady, and she was just like, make a song about our hometown. It's like, you should try it. And that whole day ran up to us back and forth. How's this sound? How's this sound? How's this sound? she may have never rapped in her life. Maybe she has, but the fact that she was, her wheels were turning, she's like, let's do it. And that is what we were doing. That's what it is to get that impact, which is really just, no words can describe that.
And moments like that, to piggyback back off that, is just, that's just such payment when you have a, because I remember being a youngin' and being inspired by someone, but to actually have the feeling of knowing that you inspire someone is such payment. And it's just real raw and rare and a good time. It's really awesome to be able to give back, to actually kind of swallowing the big pill and realizing that you are a role model to some of these children, the next generation. So that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's moments like that fill the heart baskets, you know?
Yeah.
It's so wonderful. That's great. So what are you wearing? What is that? What's your shirt?
All right. Start with the shirt, where you got this, this is our new brand. Well, same brand, new logo. And the C is designed by our shout out bars graphics, double take graphics. He designed this through many emails and conversations of the influence of having a C that sticks out and also has roots to where we're from. So also being super simple, we don't want to go overboard. So it took a lot of design work and inspiration from others. And this is the main look of it.
So we still have our old name with the letters logo, but just like how Nike and Adidas and every major label, they have a symbol. This is our symbolic logo, which is C, which is still originally to the clan. But then we have a cedar hat, spruce root hat, where we're originally from, what we wear. But other nations and other people around the world have even commented, that looks similar to mine. That looks like what we wear. And that's what's really cool. So that's the back of our shirts. Well, in front, we have the C, and then circled around it says changing life around the nation, so people can know. It's all a circle. It all comes in one.
That's great. I really like that. It is nice and simple. And yeah, just speaking from personal experience, it is hard to create a logo. You wouldn't think it is, but
It's
oh my
hard.
gosh.
Lots
Yeah.
of back and forth.
Yeah.
And so we have our website out now, changinglifearoundthenations.com. We actually are having the blue, light blue, white wave. We have the black and white, and we also have red and white, just to keep it all in piece. You can also just have a different color variety. We're also at the C.L.A.N Heritage Center in Juneau, Alaska, at their market there. Super exciting. It's very epic. It's growth, especially going back to where we're from. It's the capital of Alaska. And
it's an experience in itself, walking in that store and seeing all the amazing talent that is displayed on the art and glass cases, from beautiful jewelry to woodwork and carvings, to now some young entrepreneurs with just a simple symbolic C that is hopefully going to change the outlook of other people through our music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things I actually like what you said earlier, and it has to do with your logo, it has to do with your slogan, but it's just how being young yourselves, you realize you are role models, and that you never know when somebody is going to look up to you. Yeah. It's just really, it's amazing. I think that really speaks to who you are and what that logo stands for.
In that sense, it's just C.L.A.N is family, and we're family men before anything, as he has a 7-year-old and I have a 2.5-year-old. So no matter what, we're role models to our little ones.
Yep.
But knowing that makes us walk a little bit taller and hold our chin a little bit higher, knowing that their friends are also looking up to us.
Exactly.
One thing that I really respect and admire about both of you guys, and I think I've shared this, on previous occasions, is, how humble you guys are, how respectful you guys are. You guys don't believe in egos. you don't walk into a room and, make it so, clear that, you guys are there. You guys are more undercover, and you guys, people know who you are, people respect you, people like you, and that trajectory for you guys moving forward is going to really continue to pay off. Really feel that for you guys.
Thank you.
Really genuinely feel that. Are there any partnerships or collaborations that you guys, are comfortable discussing or letting us have the premiere effect to announce right here for us to brag for you guys first?
Yeah.
I think we got a big shout out we could do to our lead producer on this project we got coming out. And there's business calls that have been going on that I haven't been able to be a part of as I've been with my daughter. So when I'm busy, he takes care of calls, and when he's busy, I take care of calls. But he's been talking to the lead producer, so I'll let him give a big shout out to that man.
Man, shout out to, there's a few actually. Shout out to We Stranded Records down in Hawaii. There's a guy named Mainland. His name is Hawaii's Own Mainland. He has been not just a producer, but a great business partner and great friend. He we got a couple new tracks coming out. One's already out called Bittersweet. Bittersweet is kind of in the name title. She's a little bittersweet. Even we talk about cannabis in it for a medicine for people that use it for medical reasons. We shot the video in Hilo, Hawaii, which is really, really exciting. So shout out to that partner. Shout out to that crew. Brandy G was his artist, and she's the one that was in our song. I know that you guys have her and played her a few times, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really huge. Then just recently, our lead producer as well, another one in this upcoming project, his name is Cash Money, which is the owner of Hellbred Records down in Nevada. He's a really, really good friend of ours. He's a good buddy of ours. He's all around such just a good, positive guy.
And he's a new father, so.
Yeah, he's a new father. If you guys haven't heard them or his crew, his group, he's definitely modern, definitely has this new sound down, the new wave down, what they're doing, and you guys would definitely hear it with the 808s, and you would definitely hear it with our beats that are coming out.
Got a real West Coast vibe to his music, which is, I think, we're real West Coast influenced, and I think we try to stick true to repping the West Coast the best we can.
I know he's done a lot of other people's music before. People know C.L.A.N, the Native. People know there's a new artist named Coco Pelli that we just recently did a song with called Reflections. It's reflecting on literally our lives and what we are doing and currently are doing in the present moment. He's out of Arizona. He's a Wallapai native, and so his name is Cassius, or Cash Money. We call him Cash Money. And so, yeah, they're really, really awesome. And I think that's really, really exciting. Shout out to them for that partners, for them working with us, getting us to our sound and producing some good quality music with us, for sure.
And just another shout out for the little bit more leak, our engineer named Nookity. He goes by Nookity, and he's out of Tacoma, and he gives us just, that's our quality. You're not a good artist if you don't have a good engineer. You're only as good as your engineer. So if you got a dope engineer, you'll be a dope artist. And it's all about having that trust. And it's like, because at the end of the day, people go out and pay for therapy. But me and my cousin, we go in a booth, and that's our therapy session. It's therapeutic, letting that off of our mind. And in a sense, it's also weird being an open book, because it is like rapping out our diary in some senses. So, but shout out Nook for making our diary sound pretty awesome to share with the world.
Awesome.
It just popped in my head. What's really huge lately, you guys heard our new album or our new EP, or our old EP Changed. To us, it's still new.
It's still new. It's only been out 8 months or so, but we're dropping another one to stay consistent.
Partners we've worked with those producers is Hippie Jack. He was our main lead out of Spain. He's a Spain producer. Very hard to keep our hours the same, but he was very consistent. He has done a lot of work with us. And then a new buddy that came out of the Czech Republic, his name's Hills. And he also has produced a couple of these wonderful tracks that we have done, which their names are pretty big out there. He's worked with produced for C.L.A.N. You know, he's produced for a couple people in the States as well. That just came to my mind.
Some names that are just internationally known that we'd have to go through the rabbit hole to figure out, but across the waters and across the seas, there's so much other untapped gems of music that we don't even know, that we'd love to expand and exactly emphasize what our name stands for and change life around the nations, because America is the first nation, and then we got to go Canada, then Mexico, then just work our way around. I don't even got a passport yet, but I see it in my future.
Get that. So I'm actually kind of amazed, because you guys, you've been a group producing music for a while, but you just not that long ago put out your first EP, and now you're working on your second one, which is awesome. But you're not just working with other artists from the Seattle area or from Alaska, from these like tiny areas that you're from. How, I guess this is a multi-part question. How did you figure out that you could work with other people in other states or other countries? Because a lot of people don't do that, and they don't know to ask for that help or to create those relationships. How did you all figure that out?
In a sense, that being, I'm very spiritual in a sense, and I feel like we got help figuring it out through trial by error. And it's just like we've asked several people, we've been denied. We've been in this probably 7 years since this son of actually perfecting our sound to get ready to release it 8 months ago. So it was a lot of levels to get to the 8 months ago that we finally released our music. So we built a lot of connections to do it the right way, to manifest everything that's happening, because this interview is all manifested. And at the end of the day, it's just some of these producers, just recently, this one from Czech Republic hit us up and said, "Hey, I'm listening to your guys' music right now. I love your sound, would love to send you a beat package, no cap." And that was at 2:30 in the morning our time. I woke up in the morning and saw it. And I replied, and I was like, "Where are you at in the world?" Long story short, he said, "I'm in the Czech Republic." So it's like when we actually check our Spotify views and see that we're in 78 countries or so, or the numbers are talking, and I can't even list 78 countries.
Right.
It's definitely like reassurance when someone from the Czech Republic taps into our DM and says, "I love your music."
We're definitely influenced by big groups and individual artists that are in the industry at the moment, which, you know, in a good term, we bulldog it. We like to go around, and back in the day in the hip hop industry, we didn't have, even in the village with the Wi-Fi, we don't have laptops, we don't have phones, we don't have the connections to go around. So what we do, even in our indigenous side in our groups, we go out, we go to these places, we've done shows, we'll talk. It's all, like you said, my cousin and I were very spiritual, but we're all about catching a vibe. And we really like you guys, we really enjoy the company we have, and we're really just vibing, and we're really just getting that connection. That's the answer. That's where it is, like, we need to make something happen. Well, how does that happen? Do we sit down? Do we dwell on what we're writing about? No, it just comes all natural. And that's one thing that my cousin and I can really say confidently, like, it's all about the vibes, and it has nothing to do with a business transaction. We really like you guys. We really like what's going on. We're friends. We can call each other friends instead of business partners. And They know a little bit about us. We know a little bit about them. And that's how we got different states. You know, that's how we got different countries. That's how we got out of Seattle. And I'm born and raised in Seattle. You know, I am rooted from Southeast Alaska. My tribes and my family are still back home. I call that home. But growing out in the Seattle industry and growing up with DJs, artists, I've been coached by DJs, and I've been in this game without being in this game, but definitely influenced. That's what they've done. They've gone out there, sell their CD. Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is what I'm doing. It's just, it's very was sprung up on that, if that makes sense. We really did that. We really went out our way and catching a vibe. It wasn't just like, we want this to happen, and made it like forced, if that's the case. So that's how we got our business partners and music to happen as well.
Yeah. Well, just as somebody who's a fan of you guys and is just out looking in, you always seem to leave yourselves open to trust others. And that's really refreshing, because sometimes in our communities, people can be really insular and not allow anything new coming in because of, honestly, all the trauma that's happened. And you guys have figured out how to release some of that and get help and let creator or whoever bring it in for you. It's wonderful. I'm just thrilled that you've been able to make all those connections around the world.
Just to start.
When we look at, today is, we're in early January, and when we kind of look at the future of the calendar year coming up, and when we get to December 31st, what's going to be that one mission, that you guys, I'm sure, are thinking about right now, that you guys are going to be excited to reflect upon going into 2024, going back and looking at the current calendar year that you guys want to accomplish this year? What's that one thing?
I think that might be two different answers for two different personal opinions. But when it comes to C.L.A.N, at the end of the day, I just feel the numbers talk. And it doesn't matter if about my opinion or his opinion, as long as the numbers are there and talking. So by December 31st, I want to turn that K behind our streams into an M and just keep on climbing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Essentially, actually, that's really cool. Same. But a more of a broader term is that I want to see the progression from we seen last year, if that makes sense. So 2022 was this. I want to see it growing more with not just music, but clothing, our business, us. From that, we want to see the growth, see that progression, and be able to look back and be like, did we do that? Yeah, we did. And that's more of the refreshing goal. And I love this saying, it's just, don't want to be a used to be. Don't want to look back and I used to be this, I used to be that, because where we come from, honestly, and this is straight 110% truth, is we're making it. And a lot of people where we're from don't have that opportunity, don't have the confidence, I would say, because they have it. There's skill, there's talent, anything that anybody's doing, from music to art to their own business to cooking to fishing to a radio station. You know what I mean? It's happening a lot, and that's what I think is really cool to see, is that if we're all progressing and growing from one year, we're on the right path.
Definitely, because a lot happened within 8 months, and that wasn't even a full year. We got a little bit of a late start because we took 4 months of planning to get to April before dropping our EP. Now with all that's happened within that EP title change, there's been a lot of change within that 8 months. So we're very excited to see what the grind of 12 full months could manifest.
That's awesome. Well, before we leave you guys today, when do we get the next EP? When are you going to drop that?
So we have a few things coming up. January 15th, my single "My Life" is already out on all streaming platforms, but I have my music video on January 15th dropping. We have Copper coming out here soon, a week after that, which
I have a Copper song that I released as a single around right before Halloween, and we kind of had some business things hold us back a little, so the video is a little bit postponed. So I will drop Copper a week after, just to give the crowd a little something, some visual aspect. And then leading up to the EP release, we have a little teaser song that'll let them know to be patient.
Time is patience, and patience is key. That's when we have been going. And then to give you guys an answer, hopefully within these next couple months, from January, February, and that's just what our goal is.
I think we could confidently say maybe mid-February, because we're definitely starting the year off with a new C.L.A.N EP for everybody to get familiar with. And as far as it's almost fully arranged for the listening order, we're sitting on the music. And I think we got just one more song or so that needs to be fully mastered and mixed and mastered. And then it's in our catalog. And then it comes to organizing it. That way you guys as the viewers could hit play and catch the vibe from one to that last song.
Yeah, the flow, it's important.
Yeah, but so confidently probably mid-February, huh, brother?
Yep, it's called Life. We're gonna go with our acronym. We got change, then we have life for number 2. Chapter 2 is life. We have a lot of good partners, buddies that we had just recently talked about. We have Cash Money on one of our songs that has produced a lot of our beats, along with Oli, which is a Latino buddy of ours that was on it. We have Mainland. He's from Hawaii.
He's the big Hawaiian brother.
And then we have another wonderful voice that's on there. Shout out to Ray Victoria. She's from Florida. She signed and works with Doc Native, which works with Taboo in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is just, we're excited to share that with you guys. We're excited to push that and definitely get that going. And shout out to our buddy Frezzy. He's originally from North Carolina. So we got East Coast, West Coast. We got everybody that's going to be on this track. And
all different walks of life on this new track called Life.
And with different nations, they're indigenous. Some are Puerto Rican, some are Black, some are white, they're all mixed. So it just doesn't all unifying, definitely, for sure. It's the way we live. It's life.
Yes. I'm excited to hear that when it comes out.
Me too. Maybe we can get you guys back in the studio and we can do like another premiere. Like,
we
can
for sure.
do an interview and you guys can promote it that it's playing here first.
Oh, we would love that.
And then possibly a release party. Who knows? We got a lot to talk about.
We have a perfect venue for that too. Maybe we can work out all the details here.
Definitely.
Sir,
That'd be amazing.
Cool. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. Make sure